Pemburu. Oke. Sagal to kora bisa di situ itu. Ya mandi coba lagi gue kayak di mandi kayak itu. Ban ya. Kale kancil boleh mau korban shot. Hah? Oke. Hỏi mà ấy. Oi, vea que ocupa para dile que no re. ¿Está bandito? সম্মুখতে আছে দেখো আৰু কেনাই গরম লাগছে Kumburu Ngâm biasa. Người tê mà không bằng người.
Found it. Empty? I'm going to snap that man's neck in two.
Victory! I promise you pain before death!
¿Cómo?
What's going on? The chest was empty.
Inconceivable. Maybe you don't know how to read a tablet? I guarantee you there's something inside.
How can you be so sure?
Because I'm the one who put it there. I mean, Malaka. No, no, no!
Bastard! Come on! Sails!
Kurumo? Hugo. Güzel.
Oars down! Lower sail! Sails up! Now! Woo! Feel that wind!
Look trouble, Cassandra.
His name feels familiar somehow.
A bird can fly away for seasons, but will always recognize its nest when it returns. This is Stadia.
I don't think I'm welcome here.
I'm not sure of much, Cassandra, but I do know that when the time is right, we always get to go home.
And where is your home, Barnabas?
I'll save that story for another day.
Let's move! Forward! We'll make landfall here!
Babu kita lagi, oh? Babu, kita lagi? Kita lagi? Kita lagi?
Ikram মুকুই মাছে বেশি ভাল পায় মাংস
Cassandra!
Lamb, you made it. I trust the seas were favorable?
Poseidon might be the only one not trying to kill me.
And did you go to Thera? Did you find him?
I did.
What did he tell you?
He told me where I'm from. And where I must go.
So now you know the truth.
I'm not his daughter. I'm just a weapon.
That is the furthest thing from the truth. You were brought into this world with love. I never imagined we'd stand on Spartan soil together again.
As much as I cursed this place for what it did to us, it feels more like home than Kefalonia ever did.
Sparta is our home. But we'll have to rid ourselves of the Puppet King if we are ever to find peace.
Whatever happened to our old house?
Nikolaos stayed after I left, but now that he's gone, I don't know.
Why don't we go find out?
Of course. But first, there's something I want to show you.
No matter how far I ran, I never could escape them.
It's as if you locked Sparta in a box and constantly watching the sea.
Did you put your memories of us in that box?
This is where I first trained you to use your spear.
Hesitation only hastens the grave.
You remembered.
How do you think I got this far?
We had to pry that spear from your hand while you slept. You said you needed it to fight the monsters in your dreams.
I couldn't face Cerberus empty-handed. Those children will be ripped to shreds. We should help them.
Cassandra, wait! You mustn't interfere. This is Spartan training territory. Pedagogy is what turns boys into men. Interfering would only weaken them, weaken Sparta.
They're no good to Sparta if we leave them to die.
And they're no good to Sparta if they're too weak to kill a wolf. Come. Let's go home.
That training is ruthless.
Effective. The best of those boys will become Cryptia, keepers of the peace and stalkers in the night.
Stalkers in the night?
There's a reason Sparta never changes. It has rules and they are strict. Spartans rule Laconia, but most of its citizens are Ilgas, enslaved peasants made to work the fields and mines.
Slaves? Why don't they revolt?
Spartan fields keep them fed. Spartan warriors keep them safe.
see.
Most of us make great sacrifices for power.
Most. Not all.
It's not a race.
This was the first and last place I ever felt safe.
As soon as you were old enough to hold a spear, you trained in this yard from morning till night.
Nikolaos was a tough teacher to please.
He hid his pride from you. But every night he would tell me, she's going to bring glory to Sparta.
As much as I hate him for what he did, I wouldn't be who I am today without his training.
My heart broke that day. But for the first time in ages, standing here with you, I truly believe it can mend again.
Me too.
Do you remember the first time you held your brother?
I was scared I'd break him. I piled every blanket and pillow we had around me.
Even then, you held him so tight, I thought you would squeeze the life out of him.
He turned out stronger than we thought.
The gods must be playing tricks on my eyes.
Good to see you, Brasidas. It's been a long time since I rescued you from the warehouse fire in Corinth.
That's not how I remember it.
You look well, Brasidas.
The rumors were true. You're alive.
Many we thought to be dead are still breathing.
When I heard the two of you came home,
We're in Sparta, but we're not home yet.
We want our house back, Brasidas.
Sparta claimed your estate after Nikolaos' disappearance. They're waiting for his adopted son to claim it, but he hasn't returned from the war.
Stentor? I knew I should have killed him on the beach. What do we have to do to get it back?
You'll need to negotiate your Spartan citizenship with the kings. It won't be easy.
Why not?
As happy as I am to see you, the kings won't be. Especially Archidamos. Your exit from Sparta wasn't exactly graceful.
He can't still be mad I broke his nose.
You what?
In any case, he hasn't forgotten. But I have an idea that might help him forgive.
Tell us.
Spartan soldiers have been giving weapons to the Ilotes. Whoever takes care of these traitors will earn his thanks.
Why on earth would Spartan soldiers be helping Ilotes?
Ilotes greatly outnumber Spartan citizens, but they're leaderless, mostly farmhands, servants, and apprentices. If someone unified them, armed them, and trained them, they'd be a real threat to Sparta.
But you said it was Spartans who were arming them.
All the more reason to deal with this quickly. You find out why the Ilotes are being armed, and you'll have the king's attention.
Where will I find these Spartans?
They were last spotted in the Gorani marble quarry, in the forest of Eurotas.
So, I find the soldiers. Then what?
Spartans are loyal to their commander. Take him out, and the rest should disperse.
And the weapons?
Destroy them. The Ilotes have caused enough trouble with shovels and sickles. The last thing Sparta needs right now is them carrying swords.
So, to get our house back, I must take out the Spartan commander responsible for inciting a useless rebellion. Sounds easy enough.
Find me in the throne room when it's done.
And where will you be?
This is where I raised you. It's also where Leonidas raised me. I'm going to visit his tomb just beyond the estate. You should pay your respects too before you get started.
I'll try.
Semua இருக்கும் அவளுக்கு
Grandfather was a true...
Kumundu Hamudi
You're
Hamudi
not one of my soldiers. You better have a good reason for being here.
We Spartans stand together. So here I am.
Yes. Spartan blood matters most.
Looks like this
Oh,
victory
imagine
will
that.
bring you glory.
The rewards of skill and
Sao
effort.
dat zo?
It's the Spartan way.
Pourquoi réfléchir de couilles de
Slave to gender. Bathing in the blood of this war while our leaders stuff their faces and preen.
The Polemarchos believe it's an easy victory.
I will end this war in my favor.
You have a strategy?
Athenian polemarchos are paralyzed with indecision. They serve too many masters.
Making them slow to react.
And that's where you come in. Infiltrate their forts and kill the polemarchos. I need a way clear for my troops.
I'll do my part. Consider the commanders already dead.
Bring me their Athenian seals as proof. You'll be rewarded for your efforts.
Leonidas. He was Sparta's last true hero. We'd all be under the yoke of the Persian Empire if it wasn't for his courage. The same blood courses through your veins.
So, our blood is the blood of kings.
You are so much more than a mercenary. You carry the blood of heroes, blood of power. Remember what I told you?
That people would try to take that power for themselves.
And then you promised.
I wouldn't let them.
Hold out your spear.
All of this talk of the Pythia, I do not care what she says.
Enough! We have grown tired of your insolent tongue. Sparta will not go to war. The Pythia has spoken.
Pythia says what you tell her to say. She has been your puppet for far too long. The time has come to cut her strings.
Oh, Leonidas, the days of heroes are over. You think your blood makes you special? If we opened your veins, it would spill to the ground and disappear through the cracks. You are no one.
You are more than welcome to find out.
Your fate is sealed, son of the lion. Xerxes will unite us. He will bring order to chaos.
Divide the Pythia and everyone you love. Everything you stand for will perish.
Gather the men.
My king?
Xerxes wants Sparta. She'll have to go through me.
Incredible. Now, do you understand?
What must I do?
It's time we embrace our destiny. Both of us. If we don't stop the cult before it's too late, then all Leonidas fought and died for was for nothing. Our bloodline has risen to those who would enslave us.
It's time we rise again.
Well, well, well. Mother and daughter united in Sparta at last. And look at you. Goddesses among mortals.
King Pausanias, we're honored. I was sorry to hear about your father.
Yes. Our fathers would have been proud to see us here today.
You remember Cassandra, my king?
Who could forget? The girl who died to save her brother. Such a tragedy. An innocent child put to death because of an ancient, merciless law.
Two innocent children were put to their deaths that day.
Cassandra, enough. Apologies, my king. She's been away from Sparta for a long time.
You both have. This one has fired like her mother. In any case, Sparta was weakened by losing you. Losing you both.
We're examples of why these laws must change.
Oh, I agree. But King Archidamos, if he could carve Spartan law across the chests of every citizen, he would.
Spartan laws destroyed my family. Spartan laws had me claw my way through the streets. We're here today because he defied those laws.
He did, and he lost his head for it. But we're not here to talk about the dead, are we?
We know Sparta reclaimed our house after what happened to my father in Megaris. We want it back.
Mind your tongue, child. You may not live in Sparta anymore, but I'm still your king.
We graciously request an audience with you and King Archidamos to discuss reinstating our citizenship and reclaiming our home.
Of course. There is nothing I'd want more. Archidamos, however, still hasn't forgiven you for the whole nose incident.
What can we do to sway him?
There's rumor of a Hilot rebellion, and the Kreptia are stoking the flames. Savagely killing Helots, stealing livestock, and leaving corpses to rot in the streets.
The Cryptia represents Sparta's ultimate achievement in military training. Their discipline and fearlessness make Sparta's army the most feared in the world.
Once. But the Cryptia have become corrupt and bloodthirsty. And training boys to kill unarmed peasants is nothing to be proud of. Do you want your home back or not? Good. So the Ilots will no longer support the senseless slaughtering of their people.
And where would I start looking for these Cryptia?
One can be found in the fort on Zarak's Point. Another was assigned to guard the Spartan leader's house. The third is more elusive. He was last seen in one of the villages west of Hilot Hills. He's definitely the loudest of the three.
My mother spoke of these Cryptia. What can you tell me about them?
They are the hidden ones. Hand-picked at an early age, starved and trained in isolation. They must steal and kill to survive. If they succeed at their training, they become the King's Guard.
But why have me kill them?
For years, the Cryptia kept the peace between the Ilots and Spartans. Troublemakers and threats among the Ilots were dealt with. But lately, these Cryptia have been killing men, women, and children without reason or mercy. Babies ripped from their mothers and fed to the wolves. The Cryptia have become a breeding ground for ruthless savages.
Is there anything I should know about King Archidamos?
Traditional, brutal, boring. Archidamos values the old ways over the welfare of his people. He sided with the elders that day on Mount Taygetos.
If killing Cryptia will get our home back, I'll do it.
Nipu-ipu? Oh, nipu-ipu. Ini nipu-ipu. Alkan namit padamu. Bombay. Nama dibaca.
he the most believes in the old ways. Won't killing his cryptia create conflict between... Life was simple, even if Marcos was a bumbling idiot.
খরা দিচ্ছে নাকি क्या Tahan muda. Okay. কি বিষয় তাই kasri নাই sagalan ikutku bapak nih lupain sih ya nah lupain sih udah Amudi ada Buru.
Hope no one notices me here.
Evet. কি লেরাতে আলমারি আলমারি কি হুম ইয়ার বয়া কথা গিলা ইচ্ছা না
Okay.
ngapain balik baru kumpul.
The cryptia.
Listen up! I'm only going to say this one. Spinach stinks like a pig's asshole. Everyone shut up, or you'll eat.
There you are. I can take you in to see the kings when you're ready.
What do I need to know before I go in?
Ah, that's right. You've never had an audience with the two kings.
I've met Pausanias.
King Pausanias. Ah, really? Kings Pausanias and Archidamos share rulership. Impress them both, and your home will be returned to you.
I didn't expect this to be pleasant. What can you tell me about Pausanias?
He's young. Don't mistake his smile for kindness. As with all kings, those who cross him learn to regret it.
What should I know about Archidamos?
Archidamos is a traditionalist. Not one to back down from a fight. He's also got a temper. Try to stay on his good side.
Waiting won't make this easier.
Then let's go. Your mother's already inside.
Where are the kings?
There.
What do you say now?
You've made your point, Archidamos. I yield.
Another 2 squadrons to Viatir, then. As I said.
Is that how they solve arguments?
Sometimes.
Archidamos's guard has improved. He should thank me.
Brasidas, you've come with news. Let's hear it.
My kings, may I present Marini, descendant of Leonidas, and her daughter Cassandra.
How dare you show your face in Sparta?
Cassandra helped me secure Corinthia, my king. She helped with the Ilotes rebellion. They want what's best for Sparta. I beg you to listen.
Let's hear what they have to say before we bloody the palace floor.
Speak, Marini. Why are you here?
I have returned to reclaim my Spartan citizenship, to reclaim our home.
You exiled yourself. Your daughter killed an elder and ran.
Not to mention the crooked nose she gave you.
My family was betrayed, my king. Sparta was betrayed. We've come to expose these traitors.
You haven't cared for Sparta for many years.
What you say is true. But I swear by the 2 gods my intentions are pure.
Marini has made her intentions known. What are yours?
My intentions are to hunt down those who betrayed my family and Sparta, and kill them.
And who exactly do you think betrayed Sparta?
That's what I'm here to find out.
First, prove yourself loyal. Bring glory to Sparta, and redeem yourself in the eyes of the gods. Until then, neither you nor your mother have a right to your lands.
Tell me what I must do, and it will be done.
The Spartan army fights the Athenians in Viotia. Join the commandos there. Come back victorious, or do not return.
Consider the battle won.
Spoken with the confidence of a child who hasn't seen real war. You will find my commander at Mount Helicon. Give him this and tell him I sent you.
Not so fast. 2 kings, 2 tasks.
Heracles completed 12. 2 shouldn't be a problem.
First Spartan thing you've said all day.
The Olympics will be starting soon in Elise, and our fighting champion requires an escort.
You want me to be an escort?
I want you to make sure the Spartans return with a wreath.
That's how she'll bring glory to Sparta? By winning an event in the Olympics?
Not an event, my king. By making sure Sparta wins the entire Olympics.
Perfect.
You have your orders. We'll see you when your tasks are completed.
If they're completed.
I'll get them done. And you'll give us back our home.
There's some Spartan left in you after all.
Brasidas, show them out. Next.
That went well.
Considering you still have your head on your shoulders, yes, I'd say it went very well.
The kings were generous to give us a second chance.
And all I have to do is win the Olympics.
And a war.
Is there anything you need to know before setting off?
What's going on in Viotia?
The Athenian army is pushing Sparta back bit by bit. Winning won't be easy.
If anyone can turn the tide there, it's you.
What do you know about this fighting champion I'm supposed to take to the Olympics?
The Pancratian fighter. His trainer will know where he is.
My thanks.
Things are not quite what they seem. But you must keep this champion safe at all costs to succeed.
I will. One of the kings is a cultist. So one of these tasks is surely a trap. But which one?
Brasidas?
Wouldn't say that within earshot of the palace. But I've fought with both of them. I can't believe either is a traitor.
We need to find proof before we make any accusations. Keep your eyes open.
I think I'm ready. And you? What will you do while I'm gone?
I received a message just before we went in.
What kind of message?
A clue to the whereabouts of another cultist. I'm going to Arcadia.
Alone?
The fates are smiling on us. I was ordered there. We can travel together.
That would be helpful. My thanks.
I'll meet you both in Arcadia then. Safe journeys.
My thanks.
war. Do you have my seals yet?
Yes, I have the seals for you.
This will show those idiots in the assembly we're making progress. Interested in getting rid of more polemachoses for me?
I'm interested.
I'm impressed with your work.
Did you expect any less?
I had hoped, but hiring you was a gamble.
Most things in life are.
I am perhaps a bit more willing to gamble than my fellow generals would like.
If you take no risks, you win no wars.
Exactly. How is it a mercenary understands this when the greatest generals of Athens don't?
I'm not sure whether I should feel flattered or insulted.
The Spartans are trying to find our supply lines. We've caught several spies already. We cannot afford such a loss.
Not if you want to keep your troops alive, no.
I need you to kill more of their commanders. Leave their hoplites without leadership. They'll be scrambling.
Are you sure? Spartans are...
They react like wild animals. Put them in a situation that requires genuine thought, and they fall apart. Kill the commanders and bring me their seals. We'll see how the other generals react to that.
I'll get you your seals.
The sooner the better.
What do you think of the Spartans?
If you were to ask General Neon that, he'd tell you they were mindless brutes. That's half true. They have a base sort of cunning. It shouldn't be enough to withstand Athenian might. Assuming the other generals make intelligent decisions instead of stalling.
You do know I'm of Spartan birth.
You're more skilled than the average Spartan. In time, you might even manage Athenian citizenship.
The true pinnacle of success.
Of course. I wish I had more say over our naval forces. What I could do to the Spartans then.
Have you held this command for long?
I've been a general in the army for a long time. I made some mistakes in my early days, but I more than made up for them after. Still, everyone attributes my victories to luck, never to my own decisions.
I see how that could be frustrating.
Other men take credit for my victories. Cautious men who cause needless deaths by overlooking opportunities. You know what happens to a general who loses his reputation? Who gets blamed for the loss of Athenian lives?
Nothing good.
He dies. So I will do everything to preserve Athenian lives. Maybe one day, I'll even get credit for my accomplishments.
Why do you need these seals?
I need those seals to shove in the faces of the assembled generals, to get them to wake up. While they've been debating and stalling, I've been winning the war.
I know what I have to do. need to stay hidden.
A power I wield indeed. I told you last time I thought I could summon you when needed, and it has happened yet again.
And for what this time?
My friend here needs to be taken to the sanctuary of Elefsis, near the border of Mecharis. He'll finish the trek across the border on his own.
So, do you want to lie to me now or later?
Whatever do you mean?
Is this friend of yours actually a friend? I'm not going to find out they're a wanted criminal or they don't actually want your help, am I?
I'm hurt that you jump straight to accusations. A relationship must be built on trust, after all.
Fuck you, Alcibiades. To get trust, you have to prove you deserve it. And you've lied to me more than once.
You and I have different views of trust. Nothing more. I've kept things to myself, but never to hurt you.
Let's get to it. I'm just supposed to take your friend across the border.
Yes.
Nothing else?
Carefully, if you can. Avoid roads, people. Be invisible. My friend must be kept safe.
I'll make sure he's safe.
I'd hoped you'd say that.
Every time you ask me to do something secretly, someone dies. What is it this time?
Not everyone was born with your beautiful muscles built for, well, everything. Some of us work better by avoiding fights. This time, that's all I ask.
There are lots of safe passages through these parts. Tell your friend to go alone.
He could, but imagine if something happened and you saved him. Imagine the things I'd do to show my gratitude.
And why do you always turn to me?
You've proven yourself worthy. Plus, I like watching you walk away.
We should be on our way.
He needs to get to the sanctuary of Elefsis. It isn't far, although it may take you longer than usual.
It won't be a problem.
I'm glad we aren't going by sea.
Keep your distance, please.
Alcibiades told me about you. He said you're blessed by the gods. It's nice of you to help someone you don't know more.
go!
That's better. I was starting to get sweaty under that hood.
You're a woman.
Nice of you to notice.
Alcibiades said...
Exactly what I told him to. It was safer that way. I owe Alcibiades a lot for his help. And for trusting you with my life as well.
Enough lies. Tell me what's happening.
I said I was a man, so nobody would recognize me. I needed to escape my husband unseen.
And you trusted Alcibiades?
No one escapes my husband. He'd find me. It's been tough. I'm not sure I would have lasted much longer.
I'm glad I could help.
Please give Alcibiades my thanks. I only wish I had more to offer him. And you, for the help. I'll never forget either of you.
The sun and moon combined could not grant the beauty that my bride-to-be was gifted. If the gods blessed me, they did so with one eye closed. But their eyes were wide open for her.
Please stop. Your poetry is sweet enough to make someone vomit.
I won't stop until the whole world knows how I feel.
So, you're in love?
Yes, the wedding nears, and there is so much to be done.
If you need help, I'm here for you.
Accepting before knowing what I ask of you? That's a rare surprise. I do still need a few things. Food for an offering, a ring, and some flowers. If you could bring them to my bride, Iris, she'll make use of them.
I've known you for a while now, but you've never mentioned Iris.
There's plenty I haven't mentioned. I'm sure you could say the same to me.
So what is it about Iris that turns you into, well, what I saw?
You're not jealous, are you? Don't worry. She's very open. I suppose that's one of my favorite things about her. The openness.
So, flowers, a ring, and food. Where can I find Iris?
She should be at the altar of love. Aptly named, don't you think? Oh, and don't be too taken by her beauty.
Giddy up. Here it is. Found it. Better stay hidden. These flowers should be good enough for the wedding. Hopefully this jewelry is up to Alcibiades' standards.
I'll enjoy this! They're using tricks on us!
I think this would be a nice enough offering.
Let me guess. Alcibiades sent you.
He did. How did you know?
He has a skill for making others do things he doesn't want to. On top of that, he prefers if those people are attractive. He's so predictable. It's what made this whole thing so easy.
I don't care what you're doing with Alcibiades or why. He asked me to give this to you, so I am.
If I can give you some advice, you do well to be like me. Find someone with greater means than yourself. Make them love you. Reap the rewards.
How can you treat someone like Alcibiades that way?
Oh, please. If anyone deserves it, it's Alcibiades. Surely you've noticed. The obsession with sex, the lies, the drinking.
So lying to him is what he deserves?
Of course. And it's not like he'll get nothing in return. I mean, look at me.
And what if I tell Alcibiades all of this?
Why would you? You've seen him. He's happy. And I'll make sure he stays that way. There's nothing wrong with me getting something in return. But it's your choice. Thanks for helping with the wedding.
It's all done.
Wonderful. So, what did you think about Iris?
You must see something in her that I don't.
Well, that's true. Quite often, too. But still, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
You can't marry her. She told me she's using you for her own gain.
Is that so?
It is.
I knew she was special. To think I wasn't able to catch on. I can't wait to marry her. I'm glad you and I were able to work together, Cassandra.
So what was all of this for? Everything you had me do couldn't have been for nothing.
You've earned my trust. Are you sure you want to know?
So that package in Corinthia?
I almost forgot about that. I needed to get rid of the Odoros to pay off a debt. Plus, I needed spies to infiltrate Vardas's command. Even though you didn't say Theodoros is the one who sent the package, I still managed to get what I want.
All right. What about the politician?
He was brilliant and opposed me. A fatal combination. So, he needed replacing. And I had a much dumber man perfect for the job. He survived the party and you got him home safely. But it didn't matter in the end.
The woman with the Olisvos.
We talked about this. It wasn't about the woman, but her husband. He governs the trade routes between Attica and Mecharis. Or, I should say, I do now.
What about your friend? The one pretending to be a man?
That was out of the goodness of my heart. And God's curse anyone who doubts that.
I've heard enough.
Aren't you going to ask me about Iris?
Let me guess. Rich house, respected family. With her wealth, you can rule all of Athens.
Of course not. I marry for love. If those other things happen, well, I wouldn't complain.
I never would have guessed.
It's time everyone sees a more serious Alcibiades. The Alcibiades I've only shown glimpses of in the past. One day you'll see everything I was working toward. And you'll know you helped make it happen. Attica and lands far beyond will thank you, even if they don't know your name.
I'm glad I could help. I'll make sure you don't forget me when you lead Athens.
I'd never forget you. You're far too useful.
Beast Slayer, I'm glad to see you again. Here, the hyena's pelt. Take it. These flea-ridden carrion eaters disgust me.
We must learn to see the beauty in all things.
You're right. It's just an animal doing what's in its nature.
Aren't we all?
I'll return when I have more pelts.
Hello. নাই কৰা ৰখিব লাগিব আৰু এয়া কিয় কাইলৈ কি ইটা মৰিছে আঠটা মৰিছে নাজানো নাজানো কি সেইবিলাক হৈয়ে থাকিব আৰু ইমান মাথা মাৰি লাভ নাই সেইটোৱে
Believed even you could sing so low.
Don't act pious with me. I should break your neck. Prostito Hebron.
Here! Move aside!